All right. Hi, Arya. Welcome to the podcast. So, how are you?
Hello. Yeah, I'm fine. How about you?
I'm doing great as well. So, Arya, when I started playing chess, as a chess player, I was like 9 years old, and back then there was someone called Arya, and also someone called Orko as well. And back then both of you guys, oh my god, rocking the chess world, especially around my locality. It was all about you guys. So, oh my god. So I know the hype and everything, and that was crazy. So can you share some insight like how you started playing chess?
Yeah, so my dad thought like we were twins, and he
Mhm.
thought that chess is a
Yeah,
game
for
of
the
two players,
viewers, Arya and Orko, they both are twins, and yeah,
right?
they both were crazy in chess. Yeah,
Yeah,
continue.
so that's why like my dad got us into chess, and like
Mhm.
we can play together. And well, we were actually good in sports generally, but he also thought like chess would be good for our like mind. So yeah, that's why we got into chess, and we actually sort of it was like my brother and I was like mostly the one like he was champion, I was second, or
Mhm.
the other way around mostly in the
Yeah,
state championship or all the age category events.
the nationals as well.
Yeah, actually in the first national that we played was under seven.
Mhm.
My brother scored 8 out of 11, and
Oh my
I
God.
scored 7 out of 7.5. And
Oh.
I think he was placed eighth, and I was 15th or something.
And
And after that, he did continue actually. But yeah, the next national that I played, I became runner-up.
yeah, that's
And
crazy.
yeah,
That's
unfortunate
crazy.
that he left.
Yeah. And what got you both of you interested in chess? Like definitely a lot of kids start like, right, but what
Mhm.
got you interested in chess?
Yeah, so we had like a chess board in our home, and actually
Mm.
we got introduced to chess first by our sister, and like
Mm.
she taught us the rules, and well, it was interesting, like those pieces, ancient pieces also moving.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just interesting, and also it's like it's helpful for mind, as I said. So
exactly.
we got
And
soon interested.
for the viewers, Arya's sister Rajeshwari, she's also at PC as well. So yeah, so it's a whole something. We can also call Orko at PC as well. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
All the
maybe if he gets back into chess, well, he can be a coach as well.
Is he
Could be.
planning to get back into chess?
Not anytime soon. I
Uh,
don't know. Yeah, I mean, if his mind changes, I think.
yeah, that's true. And as you said, like you came the runner-up in the national event and the second national event you played. So, can you share some of the early successes you had in chess for our viewers?
Yeah. So yeah, national runner-up is like one of the successes I had.
Mhm.
I'm. I also became state champion in almost all the age categories, and
Uh,
I also became like under 15 runner-up when I was just 11.
oh my God.
And I also played under 11 nationals. So when I was under eight, there were like all youngsters right now, Gukesh, Ronak Sadhwani, and like
Yeah.
everyone, Irigesi Arjun. I also stood like 18th. I was actually the only under eight kid, I guess, who became like who scored a prize in that. And well, yeah, those are my early successes, I would say. And yeah,
That's
that's it.
crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, a lot of kids start playing chess and all the stuff they aspire to do. Mostly achieved all of them. So currently, how much, like, what are you gonna say about your chess at this like current state?
Yeah, so I'm mostly focusing on studies right now, but in the next year I'll probably drop out like for 1 year, and then I'll
Mhm.
focus on chess again. And well, let's see what happens. So I'm planning on going to Europe or somewhere,
Yeah, that's gonna be
and well,
great.
if luck like gets with me, then maybe I'll become an international master
And
someday.
what's your current Indo rating?
My current rating, I think it's 2150 or something.
Right. So it's gonna be like, 1 year away, you can get towards 2400 easily, right?
Yeah, maybe.
You can easily do that.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. And so like, you like for as you shared, like okay, you're gonna go to Europe and all. Can you share some also in our previous episode, Rajesh sir was also saying ki, like okay, let's go to Europe and all. So can you share some insight like why people are going towards the Western countries more? than India, especially.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say India does have some like lots of tournaments that are for like upper, just for 2100 players.
Mm.
But most of the tournaments are like just they're adding all the like below rated players.
Yeah,
And well, just to avoid those things, I think in foreign, it would be a nice opportunity for like all the Indian, just who are almost getting to international master level. It's a
exactly.
nice opportunity, I think.
Exactly. Like in India, also the competition is very high in India, right?
Exactly, yeah. Like you see, one player is just defeating a grandmaster and then losing to an 1800 on the next round.
You recently
It's
played in
just
one event, right? And you won against a grandmaster.
yeah. I actually won against the grandmaster, but in the last round I drew against an 1800. I mean, it happens. I mean,
It
it's just
happens.
very competitive. Yes.
India is crazy. India is crazy. So why
Mhm.
do you see India in chess in the future?
Yeah, definitely. India is like one of the top countries in chess, I
Hmm.
would say, and all the youngsters are also arising. So
Yes.
India could be the
India
number
has
one as well, maybe.
crazy potential. India has
Yeah.
crazy potential. So Arya, so as you started very young, right? And also now you're a chess
Mhm.
coach as well. Can you share some insight on kind of what are some of the challenges that young players, young prodigies like you faced?
Well, to be honest, I mean, the reason why I had to get into coaching was that it's really expensive to just afford abroad tournaments.
Mm.
And well, I was also like passionate about teaching, like just share my knowledge to with everyone, and especially the kids in PCA. They're like so fun
Like
to talk to.
really good.
Yeah, so
It's
that's
fun.
the thing why I got into this passion as well. And
And
like, why not? Yeah, I mean, when it's also learning for me. Like, I'm getting to learn a lot of things, communication and everything.
also, it's like a giving back, right?
So
Like you're giving back to chess as well. I've
exactly.
learned a lot of stuff from chess and also giving back.
Exactly.
And what are some of the most memorable moments? Like if it's like okay, for our viewers, I think you're 15, right?
No, I'm right now 17.
You're 17, okay. And what are the most memorable moments of your chess career so far? Almost you've been playing chess for
Well,
last
so
two
far,
decade, 1 decade, more than that, 12 plus years, right?
I don't know. Actually, the absolute okay. I would say that last grandmaster I defeated, that was actually one of the most memorable because like the opportunity can't be better.
Mm.
Playing the first round after a long time, defeating a grandmaster and with the Ruy Lopez.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy. Also, like for our viewers, Arya also got a book on Ruy Lopez as well. Go check it out. That's good. So, how this idea of like writing a book came up? Like you're just 17, right? And yeah, you have a great like a lot of experience. You have a lot of exposure towards chess, vast knowledge. But still, writing a book on an opening like Ruy Lopez at 17, that is great. But how this idea came up into your mind?
yeah, so during the lockdown, I was like, I had a lot of time, and I really wanted to get back to E4. Like that was my sort of that's the opening that I started playing with,
Yeah.
and I would say like just to learn an opening, I thought, well, let's try to write something, and I have to. So, for example, when I'm writing something, I have to dig a lot deep, right? And yeah, that's why I really wanted to write that book on Ruy Lopez because I really wanted to gain some knowledge about that opening, and it's an opening that you should play at some point.
Obviously, like
And
it's a
yeah, that's why I
classic,
got into it.
classic.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like is it? I don't think Ruy Lopez is currently in the trends, but it always stays, right? It was always there.
Exactly. Basically, I'm pretty sure there is no top player who have never played Ruy Lopez. It's just an exception in that case.
Especially like everyone, especially whoever like starts playing and thinks, okay, I'm gonna go like beyond that certain level and all, or beyond a certain threshold point. Like, okay, I'll do something. Everyone's place like Ruy Lopez at starting point. You're like, okay, you have to do it. It's a norm.
Yeah, it's like one of the main lines that you must study. Okay, even though you're not playing, you must study at least.
As
It's like
black as white, both the
yeah,
things.
yeah.
And as I said, it's not in the trend right now. But what do you think? What are the biggest trends in chess in general right now?
Well, the thing is, with the modern computers coming up, like everyone
Mm.
is trying new different stuff. And mostly what they're playing is like they're trying not to go absolutely into the main line, but they're trying to differ from the 4 or 5 moves. And so, well, you can say that Ruy Lopez is right now not at the top level. So, I mean, most of the players are like just playing this and this. Like they're trying out every different stuff. If you see Rapport or even Irigesi, like he tries very awkward openings. So yeah, that's like the recent trend. Like everyone knows what the open usual theory is, and so they like to differ a lot.
Yes, and as you mentioned, chess engines are there. What do you think? What are the impact chess engines are creating into the chess world?
Well, right now I think also table base is an important thing. Like if you know all the positions with 7 pieces or 8 pieces, that's like maybe someday even chess will be solved. Like when there's a 32-man table base. I think like with AI also coming up, chess engines are like growing really fast. And well, I don't know. I mean, okay, chess may not be solved because it's still a game. There's a lot of psychologies as well. But yeah, with those engines, it's like uh, everything is pretty much open source right now.
এটা পুরোটা কেটে গেছে গানটা দাঁড়া আমি একবার সেটা করছি ঠিক আছে এটা পুরোটা তো ইঞ্জিন পার্টটা পুরোটা কেটে গেল তোর ভয়েস ইয়েতে অনেকবার রিপিট করছি অলরাইট okay so as you mentioned chess engines are there so what do you think what impact has chess engines has created on chess they are crazy they're making so many stuff
so basically chess engines are like as with the development of AI as well, and chess engines are like basically you can pretty much know every single opening and all those things, and everything's pretty much like open source right now. And if you use engine till like depth 30, 40, you know every single move in the opening, and it's difficult to play it. Like you know what I'm saying. So that's why I said in the openings mostly the top players are different, just to get out of that engine preparation.
Still that doesn't justify playing London all the times, right? Okay, but like you are a top player as well. How do you engine as well, chess engines?
So yeah, I mostly okay. Let me tell you a fun story what happened in the tournament I played. So I was playing against a very a decently strong player, I'd say. And what happened is that well, okay, let me start from the beginning. So there's one round in every day. Okay, so and the round starts at 3 p.m. Before the round, I was just not doing anything. I was like looking at some movies and things. And then just before the round, like 10 to 15 minutes before the round, I thought, well, let's just check some lines, and I checked a line that he had a possibility to play. I mean, I didn't know that he was going to play that. I just thought maybe he would play that line. And instead of going into the main line where it could be tricky, I chose the second recommendation from the computer. And that completely confused him. And he was completely on his own. And then he messed up, and I just simply humiliated him. The game was just, he didn't get to do anything. So yeah, those subtleties are very important. And especially with chess engines, if you choose the third line and it's still very interesting, yeah, that's how you need to prepare. As I said again, it's all about differing and like getting your opponent into an unknown position.
Exactly. I think Tatal said something like that. It's all about taking your opponent into a deep forest where 2 + 2 = 5, and the pass eating out it only wide enough for one. That is good.
Exactly. So like even if the position is equal or you're getting into a slightly worse position, it doesn't quite matter because your opponent is on his own rather than just looking at all those engine moves and knowing everything.
Exactly. Like back in those days, there was talk, okay, engine is there. Before you were even born, right? Me and you, both of you were born.
Yeah.
So it was there. Like you thought, okay, chase is good, like done and dusted. But now it's like working with chase engines, and that's the example also comes up in my mind. When everyone says, "Yeah, I will change the world and it's gonna like destroy everything." No, we are gonna work with it, right?
Exactly. So and also that reminds me, Vishy Anand's famous quote: every door a computer is closed, there's another new door open.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
yeah, like exactly. So basically, you close one, like you look at one theoretical line, it's completely equal. No one plays that, but then they need like revolutionize it and like find another new line.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Obviously, nowadays it's that's how it works. And online chess also a big thing now with the rise of internet. And what do you think how it's impacting the game, online chess?
Yeah, online chess. Okay, that's the one of the best things about chess. Like you can play online, and like okay, I think it's like chess can be a nice esports event.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would really like to appreciate the online chess events. Like they are just amazing.
Especially like that way we are teaching
Well,
chess online as well.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, okay, it's not like the nerve is not there. Like the psychologies and all those things.
Hmm.
It's all about mouse mostly. But still, I mean, you have to play good to win the game. Yeah,
The exposure is also the like
just like
uh,
happens in.
yeah, that's like rapid. And if you remember, like if you recall when you were young, like it was really hard to get a good practice partner, right? You used to play with Fritz, I guess.
Exactly.
Then in the
Mhm.
academy, it mattered a lot if we are in a good academy or not. Now with platforms
Mhm.
like PCA, everyone gets access to the coaching, right? Good coaching. Not only that, we
Mhm.
can play online, do all the other stuff, and actually play against some like top players. And I think you played against a lot of top players yourself online as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
that
So
makes a
like
huge
that's
impact.
the really nice thing. Yes, definitely. And like with the internet, with the internet's arrival, I would say everything is pretty much open source now, as I said. So like everyone know. That's why it's like very competitive right now.
And what like as you said, like it's mostly about mouse when you're playing bullet and ultra bullet stuff. What do you think? What are some of the most important things young players can improve? Like I see my students they play ultra bullet and all. Apart from that, in general, you also started young. Also, you're young, very young right now as well. So, like, what do you think? What are some of the important points where young players can actually improve?
Well, I would say bullet is not something to improve your game. Like, it's fun, so why not? I'll have some fun, but for improvement, I would definitely say practicing and analyzing the game is the most important thing. And without using engine, that's like the most important thing. Most people just look at the stockfish, like just turn on the engine where I made the mistake, but they don't actually figure out what was going through their mind and
Exactly,
all
that's a
those
very
things.
important point.
Yeah, and like you just look at the moves and you think that, oh, I missed this one. How can I do that? But there are lots of psychologies. Yeah. I mean, even I blundered in the game against a grandmaster, like in the last grandmaster that I faced. And well, it happens. It's just a basic blunder, pretty much. It happens. I mean, all those psychologies, playing under time pressure, yeah, and computers won't understand it. It would just say you made a big blunder. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would just make you almost depressed.
What's going on in your mind, you have to understand that thing, analyze that part as well, right? Psychological aspect of the
Exactly.
game is huge.
Exactly. Like, why did I make that mistake? What was going through
Hmm.
my mind? You need to analyze that psychological part.
Exactly. No, with online games, I see like some of my students, they're like, okay, the game is done. Let's turn on the computer engine and let's do the analysis. But you don't learn something with that. You definitely can definitely notice the mistakes. But in order to learn properly from your game, you need to go thoroughly and without seeing the engine. Like, okay, what was happening? What I can play? The possibilities. That's how you get better at chess, right?
Exactly. Yes. Like you first analyze your games on your own, then okay, you can turn on the engine to
Yeah,
look at
check
where
it
you could
out.
have played a bit better. Yeah.
And what do you think? What are, apart from these mistakes, what are some of the common mistakes young players make?
Common mistakes like in chess, like during the game or
Mhm.
like
In
while
the game or
practicing.
as while practicing or like in the journey, like throughout the journey.
Yeah, mostly as I said, like it's practicing without analyzing. That's the main issue. And well, I would say blunder is an issue as well. Like, okay, that can't be avoided completely. Everyone does that.
Yeah, Nepo
But
when
yeah, I
Nepo
mean,
did that against Carlsen as
yeah, exactly.
well.
But yeah, the lesser blunders you make, the better you are. So
Mm.
yeah, blunder like reduction is also an important thing.
Yeah. Also, like now you're handling kids yourself, right? Or coaching, and Premium Chess Academy is also renowned for its exceptional chess methods and all. Could you give some insights into your unique teaching techniques which you employ into the student and to improve their skill set?
Yeah, so well, I like to use diagrams. That's first thing. And mostly, like what I do is like I like to just share my own knowledge to them. And like, okay, even if they're getting what I have learned myself, how the way I've learned it, that's also really good for them as well. And yeah, I mean, I do use positions from books, but it's not like I'm just copying them the whole thing. So mostly for example, I take position from the book, and rather than okay, usually I also don't know the answer. Is that I figure out the answer during the class, and then I say like show them how I figured it out. Just a whole process, the thinking process. That's like I would say is what everyone should do actually.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually
you should
nowadays
not look at the answer.
yeah, what I do be like I share the entire screen, right? So like
Mhm.
no point like ADR to okay, I can turn on the engine and check myself. I just turn on like I share the entire screen. I put myself into the situation as well. Okay, let me see what is happening or not. 90% of the times I get it correct, but sometimes 1%, 2% of the times definitely I also get it wrong. That's
Exactly.
learning
Like
moment.
so, what happens in some cases also that you like, for example, you say something, it's correct, but then one kid says something like, "Well, why not this one?" In that case, if you just look at the answer and there's only one line in that answer, you won't be able to like figure out what happened. So you will also have to think again and then just figure out. Yeah. So that's the whole reason. Like you should just think about the position yourself and then like figure out what's the answer and then share the knowledge like how you figured it out.
Yeah, the
That's the
kids
best way I
are
would
crazy.
say like the kids
The
will
kids they always
understand.
ask the right question like why and this curiosity of kids they always get otherwise like in our age I was like okay this is not happening there must be some reason let's see the right one but the kids are like why this is not happening they're like yeah why
Exactly.
my line is not correct
Yeah.
like they
Yeah,
correct
you have to
everything
explain it to them like very
yeah
properly.
after like just after pressing the enter button in the chat in a keyboard they're like am I correct and this is the hardest question to actually reply right.
Yeah, sometimes they are actually like, for example, there are like more than one winning out options. They might be fake. So you like, okay, this is one problem I had to face when I used to sit with my father. Like, like when I started chess, my father used to teach me and like using books, but he didn't know how to play chess. So what he did
Yeah.
was like he read the whole thing, and then he just told me what is a move. And I just told him, okay, maybe sometimes it was a different move, and he didn't know that it was actually working. And I was like, okay, why this not working? And yeah, that's a problem. But as a coach, well, you can always figure out like why is this not working, and you can show it to the kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good thing I would say.
Creativity is also there now. You can see who is creative and all. Yeah. And let's do some rapid fire now. Okay.
Mhm.
So it is called the blitz with coaches because we don't know rapid fire because rapid is now a very longer version, right? So it's a blitz with coaches. So what is your favorite chess opening area?
Definitely it's a Ruy Lopez now. I'm loving it actually. Honestly, I mean, uh, the last game, as I said, I played. I actually have almost 100% score with Ruy Lopez right now.
Wow, that's
In the
impressive.
last few tournaments I've played, and all the games were like perfect. So like no mistakes, no inaccuracies. It was like perfect games. So yeah, I'm
So
definitely loving the Ruy Lopez right
so
now.
is that your main line right now for a while?
Yeah, yes,
Okay,
yes.
opponents, if you're listening, you should notice this thing. He's gonna play a really well. Prepare something crazy. And what's your favorite in-game position?
Endgame, I like the Fisher endgame as Bishop is one of my favorite pieces.
Bishop is a favorite. And especially the kids, they don't understand why Bishop is so important. He controls open line. They're always like, no, no, knight is crazy. Knight works in moves in any shape. But
Yeah, Knight is magical. He jumps over the pieces.
yeah, the way Bishop controls is so good, especially the double Bishop advantage.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. And what are the most important thing? I know I asked this question before, but you have to just if you have to give just one answer. What is the most important thing you've learned so far in your life? Not in just life.
Um, in my life, okay, that's a difficult question. Most important thing. I would say like always, um, always be helpful to everyone. Yeah, I like to like just help everyone else. You know, if there is a way you can get back, it's always helpful.
Yeah.
I would say like being kind to people is a very important
Kind.
thing.
Empathetic towards people, that is very important. Like, as a coach, especially, I also learned this more than ever. Feel like, okay, you have to be empathetic towards a kid. You have to understand why they are
Exactly.
reacting in a certain way, their moods and all the things,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you should never be angry.
Yeah, that is a
Let's
key
just figure
lesson.
it out. Like, why is
That-
that happening?
Hmm.
Rather than being trying to, angry, you just figure it out what's the way to solve the issue.
Yeah. So, like, sometimes stress factors are there are so many things they are doing. For example, what is your advice for dealing with stress, especially during a chess tournament?
Um, well, I like to play anything, like any sports. Yeah, especially football.
Okay.
When you're playing football, you just forget about the whole thing. Like
Uh,
if you lost 1, 2 games, yeah, it's all right. Just play some footballs. Just get out of that environment and enjoy yourself. That's it. I
yes.
remember I lost the second match in the Commonwealth Championship. Was under 8 or something. I forgot. And
Okay.
then no, it was under. Okay, I don't remember. So what I did was like, okay, I was crying the first time. That was the first time I cried after losing a chess match. And what I did that day is like I used a sponge ball to just play with my dad. you know. And yeah, I was just in the next round. I think I became sixth in that tournament eventually.
I remember, like, when we were young, especially during the rounds, everyone used to play. That was really great, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's
Really
that's
fun to play.
like a tradition sort of.
Some of our friends, like, the parents used to, like, pull them and then just put them on the board. They're like, okay, like, first, even it happened, like, okay, if it's in the earlier round of the tournament, let's finish the round for, like, very quickly, very fast, and let's go to play. Those
Yeah,
things used to
yeah,
happen.
yeah. When we were kids, that was like one of the most important things for us. Just having
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it's all about having fun, mostly about that. And like, what are your advice for dealing with, like, what is your advice for dealing with defeat?
Yeah, as I said, like just maybe take a shower and just get out of that environment. Just don't think, okay, one defeat won't change the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, that's how you should be thinking. Like, let's prepare for the next round and don't
yeah.
think about the previous
Let's
thing.
try to come back harder, try to win. At least not try to lose,
Yeah,
because you don't want to fall for the chain reaction, right?
exactly. And I also don't usually like look at the results, like what's gonna happen if I draw, what if I win. That's the best way to stay out of those chaos. If I lose, then I will go all the way to the back. If I win, I'll be the champion. You don't have to think about those things. Just play your best.
So what, like, what is your advice for staying motivated? How do you stay
Yeah,
motivated
that's a
yourself?
difficult question, actually. I would say, like, in the last few years during COVID, I was definitely not motivated.
Mhm.
Our financial position was not good as well. I was even thinking about, okay, let's just, I don't think I have any chances anymore to become a title player. But after joining PCA, I think that has changed a lot. And well, now I'm definitely motivated a lot to just push for the title. And staying motivated is just that you set a goal, and if you can see that you have the abilities to reach that goal, always just push for it. Yeah.
And it's like, as you were, like, extremely talented kid. I was, like, just okay, quite good. Above average maybe. So when I just gave my 10th board, I still remember, like, okay, what are the chances I'm gonna make out? Like, what's gonna happen? And I saw the odds, like, okay, not, like, the chances are very less at chess, especially. So I was like, okay, I had to take a break from chess, and then I just focus on studies. Now I did the engineering stuff. Then PCA came up. Then, okay, I got the, like, I can see start chess at least, or I have that mindset. Okay, we can get back to chess. That's the thing. Na, okay, you get the backup thing.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah. Like, well, I would say that chess has been one of my most important things in life, definitely. But yeah, as I said, during the COVID, I was just not like motivated enough. I was just,
Mm.
depressed at some point
Exactly.
about
Yeah.
chess. But then now I'm pretty much happy actually. As I said, I'll even perhaps take a drop for the next year so that I can focus on becoming a
Yes.
title player.
So everyone just prepare well. Arya is back. Uh,
Yeah,
so we
never give up.
have
Yeah.
so after the Blitz with Arya, we have a very special segment. We have a special viewer who was asking some questions. So
Mhm.
I heard the viewer said like, so Mr. Arya Bhakta, you're so shy that even if you go to the grocery shop, you can't even communicate with the shop owners properly. Heard that. Are you that
Okay,
shy?
that that was true actually, but I think that definitely has changed like a lot recently, and I'm very engaging with people now, and that happens. I mean, okay,
Yeah.
that mostly happened due to PC, I would say. I mean, the communication skills have improved really a
Improves
lot
a lot.
after joining PC.
Improves a lot. And also, I also heard from that special guest of ours that you like dressing as well in general. Also, like you're wearing this beautiful orange tee as well right now. You like dressing, and what's like what are your what do you like to wear? Like, what's your favorite thing to wear?
Well, I actually like casual stuff. Like, well, even when I'm playing game, I just like to be comfortable. Just focus on the thing that I'm doing. But that doesn't mean that the clothes has to be like just anything. Yeah, I mean, my dad actually likes to buy lots of clothes.
Yeah.
We don't have place to keep them.
But also I heard that you spent 1 hour at the bathroom.
Okay, I wonder who is actually leaking those stuff. Okay,
And
I
then
mean,
also the last but not the least, special information from our special guest that also sometimes use all the products that your mom uses. Now you know who is leaking the news and information.
yeah. Okay, I have to be careful now.
Be careful. All right. So we're almost towards the end. So Arya, so what do you hate the most about chess?
What I hate about chess, okay, I don't know actually. I mean, oh yeah, okay, I can say one thing. It's like it's very cruel. Like you're played all the good moves, and only one blunder can just
One
nullify
blunder
all those
explain a lot.
excellent moves. Like it can be cruel. You have to be like very focused all the time. And it can be like very painful. Just 6 hours just staying there. It's not an easy task.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
And
only thing I would say.
yeah, that's very true. It's very well, like, just one mistake, just one game over.
Yeah, and your opponent is like waiting for it. You know.
It's like you can make like 90 bad moves, but just 90 average moves, but one small mistake can gone. Chances
Exactly.
chances are gone. And what do you love the most about chess, Saga?
Chess, yeah, it's an interesting game, I'd say. I mean, it's like, the, well, mostly, I love this puzzle solving, especially the studies, those studies created by the composers. Though I love to solve those. And yeah, I mean, it's just a really nice game. It's a very good exercise for your mind as well. And like, well, once you start, if you don't know how to play chess, it's boring. And you don't know the rules, you're losing all the games. But once you actually start to see the beauties of the game, it's just amazing game. I was also looking at a game today, like just looking at my previous games,
Yeah.
and I just looked at how amazing I used to play, like queen sacrifices, rook sacrifices. Those are just beautiful.
Yeah, they're special moments in our life, right? Like not in life, but in general, like they always stay.
Yeah.
So if, as you said, like if someone's like starts playing chess, I kind of find it very good. So what advice would you give to anyone who's thinking about getting into chess?
Yeah, I would say that it's a complex game, but it's definitely helpful for everything. Like, if you're a kid, it's good for your academics as well.
Yeah,
And
it
like,
helps a lot.
it's generally like a very, I mean, if you want to play chess for time pass as well, it's also really good. I mean, especially grandpas and grandmas would be so happy to play chess with grandkids. Yeah. I mean, I would say like during the lockdown, almost everyone got introduced to chess. Most
Yeah,
of my schoolmates were also playing
me too.
chess. They were like, "Can you teach me chess?"
They like teach
Like
me
there were
chess,
so
and
many.
also especially they're also like let's play chess. And I love doing that. Especially I just okay, I don't know how to
Exactly.
play chess, and just prank them and just destroy them.
Exactly. I love to see when the kids in my school also like they play chess, uh, like even the tiffin hours as well. That's really nice to see.
All right. So that's it for the day. Arya. Thank you for joining. Anything you wanna say to our viewers before we end?
Well, I would say that if you're playing chess, just enjoy the whole thing, the whole process. It's just a lovely game, I'd say.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, guys. Just don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And if you wanna know more about Arya, you can always ask. And we might do a part 2 of this thing as well. So thank you, Arya, for joining. Hope you enjoyed today's
Thank you.
podcast.